Hello po sa inyong lahat. So, we're about to start na po, no? Kasi medyo, ano na rin po. Okay, anyway, hello po sa inyong lahat. Again, good afternoon po. Naririnig niyo po ba ako? Ayan. Anyway, a pleasant good afternoon po to all our audience from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and even our partners po from international. Rise and shine!
We provide.
Ayan. Of course, hindi po natin makakalimutan ng ating mga Presidential Circle members. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. And for our enterprise partner po, hello po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much po for all your support. So walang sawang pagtangkilik po sa ating We Provide. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Ayan. So again po, rise and shine. Gusto ko marinig mga magaganda po nilang boses.
We provide.
Ayan. So bago po tayo mag-start, of course, start po tayo with a prayer.
Malaki po music nyo.
Ayan.
Okay po.
Okay po ba?
Okay, ma'am.
Ayan. So let us all bow our head po with a prayer. Sorry po, naririnig po ba ninyo?
Yes, ma'am. Narinig namin tao.
Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen! Ayan. So, again po, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Gusto ko lang po ulit magpakilala. I am Philippine po, your host for this afternoon. I am the Sales Training Assistant of Produkto. So, ako po yung makakasama niyo po this afternoon. Hello po sa inyong lahat. And of course, gusto ko lang po mag-hello sa ating FB Live viewers. Rise and shine po sa inyong lahat. Hello po. And sa ating napakagandang marketing manager na si Miss Arlene. Hello po, Miss Arlene. And of course, si Miss Bina po ang ating manager sa operations po. Hello po sa inyo. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Hello po, Sir Chris. Nandiyan po ba kayo? Hello po. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So, for this afternoon po, we will talk about po the newly launched. Ayan. So, for this afternoon po, we will talk about our newly launched product of We Provide under the Essentials. Ayan. So, it is a food supplements po that we are offering to our members, clients, and business partners. So in this kind of training po, we are featuring the products of We Provide. So every Saturday po, meron po tayong topic na We Tap, or ito po ang mas kilala sa tinatawag po na We Talk About Products. Ayan, so dito po, mas madadagdagan po yung knowledge natin or yung mga kaalaman natin about the We Provide product, of course. Lahat naman po tayo, di ba, once na bumili po tayo ng products, lalo na sa mga ganito pong klaseng products, hindi pa po tayo ganun kagamay, tama po ba? Or puno yung knowledge natin on how to use the products, kung saan po ba dapat yung products, tama po ba? Ayan. So, malalaman po natin lahat yan ngayon, matututunan po natin yan lahat ngayon this afternoon, of course, with our very special guest. Lahat po yan tututuro niya po sa atin. And of course po, our best product po na i-share po niya sa atin ngayon this afternoon is, I hope po sa lahat po lahat po yun mag-sink in po sa atin, no? And gusto ko lang din po sanang i-take this opportunity na rin po na lahat po na mga pwede natin kakilala or invite po natin sa ganitong Zoom meetings, actually trainings na din po sa atin to lahat na pwede natin i-invite. Mag-invite lang po tayo ng mag-invite, and yun nga po, every Friday po, meron po tayong meetup, so dito po natin matututunan or maririnig lahat po ng about sa mga products po ng we provide. So every Friday po yan, so lahat po tayo makinig lang po, wala pong mawawala sa atin kapag po tayo nakinig. And mas madadagdagan po yung mga knowledge natin about sa mga sinishare po ng mga expert na mga guest speaker po natin. Tama po ba? Ayan. So, anyway, gusto ko na rin po ipakilala sa inyo ang ating very special guest po this afternoon. Siya po ang mag-share sa atin ng about po sa ating best product po sa we provide. He is a wellness consultant po as Aesthetic Science Clinic, and he is also an integrative medicine consultant at Health is in Lifestyle and Wellness Center, a wellness consultant at Gourmet Farm, and an integrative medicine consultant po at Alta Integrative Medicine. And he is also a product researcher, developer, and speaker po at Natural Nutritional Science. And a member din po of International Society. Ayan. And he is also a member of International Association of Cell. He is a secretary and member of the board at Preventive, Regenerative, and Integrative Medical Alliance at Philippines. So he is none other than Dr. Jason Peñaranda. Hello po, palakpakan po natin siya. Ayan.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Doc. Rise and shine. Good afternoon.
Rise and shine in this beautiful Friday afternoon.
Ayan.
Okay, alam ko po, medyo this is not the most convenient time na mag-usap tayo ng masinsinan. Kasi siesta hour to. Pero hopefully po, dahil importante itong pag-uusapan natin, tumutok lang tayo talaga. Okay? So, can I start, Ms. Kay?
Yes, Doc. You can start po anytime.
Okay. So basically, we'll be talking about two products, the Alta Ultima and the Alta Prima. I'll start first with the Alta Ultima. It's easier to understand, shorter, and then yung mas malalim after nun. Okay, so hold on. Let me just get this. Okay, share screen. Miss K, you have to enable my screen sharing.
Hindi po kayo makapag-share, Doc, ng screen po?
You have to allow participants to share screen.
Ayan. Ayan, Doc.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, thank you. Okay, can you see it? Can you hear me well?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, now, let's make sure that we're on mute first. Not because I will be distracted, but because sometimes we are doing things and saying things that we don't need to know. Okay, or we don't need to see. So, let's just focus on the product. So, I'll talk about Alta Ultima. Okay. This is a painting called The Fountain of Youth. Why do I start with this? Because for generations, humans have been always looking for that thing, that fountain of youth, to keep us young, to keep us healthy, close to immortality. And that has been a quest of every generation since time anymore. Up to now, even with the new technology, we're still on that quest. Basically, the most obvious indicator of our youth is our outside beauty or the skin. So, since nakikita natin sa mukha, sa skin, kung yung person matanda na, sa wrinkles, diba? So, yun yung nagiging basis natin. Skin yung pinaka-common. And then, pagbata kasi, nakikita natin ng... Okay. So, what we don't know about the skin is it's the largest organ of the body. Kung ilalabas natin yung skin, ilalatag natin, it will have a total area of 2 square meters. It is the first line of protection from the environment. It helps regulate body temperature and it's responsible for sensations of touch, heat, and cold. So, hindi lang siya for beauty and youth, ano siya, very important for physiology. Ito yung structure niya, so basically there are 3 layers. The epidermis, nandiyan yung mga hair, and melanocytes. Melanocytes, ito yung nagbibigay ng color ng skin. The dermis, nandiyan naman yung mga nerve endings, blood vessels, and the hypodermis, ito yung pinakamalalim, nandiyan yung fatty layer. Now, ang youth natin kasi is not forever. Eventually, we will grow old, okay, due to a lot of factors. And one of the most common is sun damage, or yung exposure or excessive exposure natin sa sun. This is an example of sun damage. So this person is a truck driver. So nakikita niyo, yung setup sa trucks, ganito. So if you're driving in the States or in the Philippines, yung left side mo is exposed. So kung nakaharap yan sa araw, and then through the years, so makikita niyo dito yung left side ng mama, kung lubot na. So that's sun damage as compared to the part that's not exposed. So this is just a very clear example of how excessive sun exposure can cause sun damage to your skin. So how do we solve that? Well, basically, we use an umbrella. We apply sunscreen every hour for the exposed skin. And then you use long clothes, ideally you have long sleeves that provide most skin coverage. Depende kasi sa kung nasang part ng mundo ka, sometimes it's easier to wear clothes na expose yung skin kasi mainit. But if you want to protect yourself against sun damage, so have long clothes. And then choose the timing of your sun exposure. We need sun exposure kasi that's the way how we can manufacture vitamin D. But you'd like to do that before 8 a.m. and after 4 p.m. Sometime between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. yun yung pinakamainit. You don't want to expose yourself so much sa sun ng ganong oras kasi that's when it's the most harsh. Dehydration is also another problem na nakikita natin. It causes dryness and flaking of the skin. So usually ang causes niyan is again sun exposure or weather. Inadequate fluid intake, hindi tayo nahilig masyadong uminom ng fluids or tubig. Physical exertion, pag marami tayong physical activity, pinapawisan tayo, hindi natin napapansin na nadi-dehydrate na tayo. And certain medications, if you're on diuretics, these are medications that stimulate urine elimination, nadi-dehydrate na tayo without us knowing kung hindi natin siya monitor. How do we solve this? Well, simply, you drink water. You minimize your unnecessary exposure to the sun. Kung hindi kailangan magpa-araw, wag na. Okay? Drink lots of waters and fluid. Have more water-rich fruits and vegetables. Marami kung ayaw nyo ng puro tubig. Pakwan is water-rich. Your cucumber, the succulent fruits. They are a very good source of fluids. And if it's possible, try to avoid diuretics unless they're part of your maintenance. Now, if you're on diuretics, you can take that away. Just make sure that you follow the other 3 so you'll always be hydrated well. Another factor, of course, is malnutrition. If you're not getting the right nutrients that your body needs, you can have uneven skin tone, you can have dryness, itching, flaking, you can have skin hair loss, and you can have poor wound healing. So usually it comes from poor diet. If you're not eating well, you're not getting the right nutrients. even if you're eating well, if your digestion is not good, hindi mo rin siya natutunaw na maayos, hindi mo na-absorb, you don't get the nutrients. And then if you have a bad lifestyle, meaning you're more on processed food, you don't eat your meals regularly, you take a lot of alcohol, and then certain diseases also cause malnutrition. They eat away all the nutrients or prevent you from getting them. How do we solve this? Well, basically, you eat healthy. When we say healthy, it means you eat more fruits and vegetables as compared to meat and processed food. You improve your digestion. How? By having, again, more fruits and vegetables because they help clean your digestion through the fibers. And then you have a healthy lifestyle, meaning you take your meals regularly, you take natural food as much as you can, avoid processed food, alcohol, even smoking. And you consider supplementation because it's very hard to get good food, and the food is not so nutritious now because the soil is not as fertile. So sometimes the demand is so high, we need to have supplementation because food alone cannot provide it. Now, collagen is one of nature's solutions on how we can handle it. Kasi hindi naman pwede may ganun tayong problem tapos walang solution. So collagen is a substance that has a strong tensile strength, meaning it can resist breaking when stretched. Siya yung main component ng cartilage, ligaments, tendons, bone, and teeth, and responsible for skin strength and elasticity. Its deficiency leads to wrinkles and premature aging. So, yung nagme-maintain yung kinis ng skin natin, yung collagen. So, ito siya yung mahabang parts dito. As we grow older, the collagen decreases. So, pag nag-decrease siya, that's the time you see na nag-loosen yung skin, tapos nag-wrinkles. Ang common sources ng collagen are fatty fish, meat, eggplant, citrus, and red and yellow vegetables. So, if you want to keep your skin healthy with collagen, you don't want to have premature wrinkling, then have more of this food. Coenzyme Q10 is another substance given to us by nature and how we can solve the aging process. It's produced in the body, but it can be obtained from food. Ang function ni CoQ10 is to provide energy for the mitochondria. Yung mitochondria, para siya yung generator ng cells natin. Siya yung powerhouse. So, ang nag-energize naman dun sa powerhouse niya, si CoQ10. And like collagen, CoQ10 also decreases with age. Ito yung common sources niya, organ meats. So, yung mga laman loob, the liver, the kidneys, heart. But of course, if you have problem with uric acid, that might not be applicable for you. Muscle meat, so these are your beef, your pork, your chicken breast. Fatty fish, some vegetables like spinach, cauliflower, broccoli, and citrus fruits. Hyaluronic acid is another factor. You remember the collagen kanina? So dito siya yung yellow part. What hyaluronic does is to bind with the collagen and elastin to hold moisture. So siya yung moisturizer ng skin. So dito, makikita niyo ito yung young skin. So you have collagen, you have elastin, tapos hyaluronic acid is dispersed in between. As you grow older, nauubos siya, bumababa yung hyaluronic, yung collagen, yung elastin, and you end up with wrinkled skin. So ang common sources niya, bone broth, soy-based food like tofu and taho, root vegetables like your carrots, kamote, citrus fruits, and leafy greens. And then antioxidants. Antioxidants are substances that neutralize free radicals. Ang free radicals, eto naman mga unstable molecules. Ang stable molecule ganito, meron siyang pairs ng electron. Ang free radicals, meron siyang kulang. So kukunin niya yung dito sa stable. So pag nakukuha niya, unstable na ito, magkakaroon ng cell damage. Ang ginagawa ni antioxidant, siya ang nag-donate kay free radical para stable na rin siya. Okay? So si free radical naninira ng cell. Si antioxidant, siya yung nag-repair. So, ang mga common sources ng antioxidants natin are basically still the fruits and vegetables, especially the berries. Ngayon, kung okay, we have the right nutrients, our skin is healthy, we look young. But what is youth and beauty if, there's no performance? Where's the joy in that? So, ayan tayo, young, sexy, attractive. Pero kung walang performance, ganun na lang ba? For display only? Siyempre hindi, dapat may paggamitan tayo niyan. Unfortunately, there's a lot of sexual dysfunction going on. For men, there's erectile dysfunction, or it's the inability to sustain an erection. For the females, it's called female sexual dysfunction, ganun din. Lack of interest, lack of desire for it, hard to arouse. For men, it's about 33% occurrence. So, for every 3 men, 1 of them would have erectile dysfunction. For females, it's 43%. So, it's considerably significant. Now, hindi kailangan na both male and female will have problems. If you're a couple, yung isa may problem, that's it. Okay? Kahit active yung isa, if the partner is not reciprocating, wala rin. So, both has to be treated. So, meron naman tayong mga natural solutions, meaning, most of the problems we encounter in life, usually Mother Nature already has provided solutions for that, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So one of them is Tongkat Ali. I'm sure you're familiar with this, or at least you've heard about it. It enhances your energy levels, endurance, and stamina. It reduces occasional mental fatigue and stress, so stress case of work or whatever, nakakatulong siya. It increases the level of free testosterone by unbinding, yung testosterone kasi natin, it's the male hormone. So for males, merong free hormone, merong bound hormone. Yung free, ibig sabihin siya yung pakalat-kalat. Siya lang yung nagagamit. Yung bound, hindi siya nagagamit. So ang ginagawa ni Tongkat Ali, nire-release yun para available na rin siya for the body to use. And then Dong Quai, it's used for females naman, it's for gynecological problems. It's an invigorating tonic for both men and women. It increases the effects of hormones in both men and women. It's also widely used as an aphrodisiac, so enhancing libido. In Chinese formulas, it is used for fertility. So kung mababa yung sperm count or hindi maganda yung function, ito yung ginagamit nila. So this is not just performance, it's also for fertility. And then Wirapuama, it's called the Viagra of the Amazon. Basically, what it does is to heighten the experience of sexual stimuli and sensation. Kumbaga, kung under normal condition, ang effect sa'yo ng touch, ng partner mo ay 5. Pag ginamit mo to, magiging mas sensitive ka doon. Yung 5, baka maging 7 or 8 or 9. Pero same touch. Yung perception mo lang may iba. It also increases your mental performance and physical stamina. So, mas makakatagal ka. And it helps with mental or physical fatigue, irritability, and headaches. Usually, yun yung common excuse ni sir. Pagod siya, stress siya. Si ma'am naman, mas kaya ang ulo. So, with this, wala na yung mga ganyan excuses. And then the puncture vine, it mimics the effects of testosterone. So, para kang nag-hormone replacement when you're taking this without the side effects of synthetic testosterones. It promotes the release of nitric oxide. Basically, it improves your circulation. That's what it means. And increases your stamina during workout. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-exercise ka, hindi nagamit mo to, nag-improve your stamina. So, if you do other physical activities and you use this, mag-i-improve din yung performance mo. It is also known as an aphrodisiac. Okay, saffron is used for fertility and again increases libido. So this is another aphrodisiac. It can improve sexual function in men and women kahit meron silang depression. Horny goat. It works basically like Viagra. Basically what it does is to sustain the erection in men. So kahit tapos na, hindi agad bumabagsak. It boosts transmission of nitric oxide, which is basically for circulation. and erection. So women naman, it works like phytoestrogen or the female hormone. So it decreases the symptoms of menopause, pati yung low libido, so magiging mas receptive, and vaginal dryness na-address din yan. So as we said, we cannot live by bread alone or with just beauty or food. So food alone is not enough because food is less nutritious now. Kasi through the years, yung land, hindi naman nare-replenish yung nutrients, nauubos din, hindi na ganun ka-fertile, so hindi na rin ganun ka-nutritious yung food. Also, good food is not readily available. Mahirap na maghanap ng really nutritious food, or if there are, medyo mahal sila, so you're left with whatever's available. There's also higher demand for nutrients kasi if you notice, people are working longer hours now, but resting for shorter periods. Mas matagal tayong nagtatrabaho kaysa nagpapahinga. So yung wear and tear ng katawan natin mas mataas, mas kailangan natin ng nutrients. And then quality food prep and eating is not always practical kasi busy tayo, wala tayong makuha tamang food. Hindi na tayo nakapag-prepare ng matinong food. So nangyayari, parang kung anong instant, kung anong available, kung anong delivery, yun na lang. Without really considering or planning kung ano yung nutritional value niya. So given those circumstances, we know that supplementation is really recommended. Food alone is not enough. And one of the supplements we recommend for this, of course, is our Alta Ultima. Okay? So for anti-aging, so I think sinasabi natin maintaining your youth, it has collagen. So if you remember, the collagen basically is for keeping your skin wrinkle-free, holds your skin together, prevents wrinkles. Coenzyme Q10, meron din yan si Alta Ultima. It keeps your skin energized for maintenance and repair. Pine bark naman contains hyaluronic acid. Remember, cleaning hyaluronic acid keeps your skin hydrated and moisturized. And then it prevents wrinkles and premature aging. So yun yung mga contents niya for anti-aging. And then, Maki berry, pang antioxidant naman. Antioxidant, remember, they neutralize the free radicals which damage the cell. So if you have antioxidants, you lessen the tissue damage. So your skin remains young for a long time. And then for the stamina, the tongkat ali can relieve stress and anxiety, boost stamina and drive. The dongquai for gynae and fertility problems, it is an aphrodisiac. The muarapuama also, it's like the Viagra. And then the puncture vine for testosterone, your crocus sativus or saffron is another aphrodisiac. And then epimedium extract is a natural phytoestrogen in women but associated with increasing symptoms of menopause. And for men, it prolongs erection. It acts also like Viagra. Arginine is the source of nitric oxide, which is necessary for circulation. You need a good circulation to maintain libido and erection. A recommended intake for Alta Ultima is 2 cups upon waking up, 1 cup 1 hour after lunch, and 1 cup before bedtime. You take it in cycles of 3 days on, 1 day off. So 3 days you take, 4th day you stop, and then 5th, 6th, 7th day you start again, and then 8th day you stop. Okay? Paunawa, ang Alta Ultima ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Thank you. Okay, so, Miss Kay, are we gonna do a Q&A or we proceed to the next part first?
Ask po natin sila, Doc, if there have questions po, no? Meron po ba kayong gustong itanong kay Doc? Huwag po tayo magiging magtanong.
Pwede niyo pong ilagay sa chat.
Ayan, pwede po kayo mag-chat or you can raise your hand po if ever that you have your question po para masagot po yun ni Doc.
Adults naman po tayo lahat dito. Huwag po tayong magkahiyaan.
Ayan, yes. Huwag po tayong magkahiyaan. Lahat po yan masasagot ni Doc. So,
kung medyo personal po, Alam po ni Kay yung Facebook account ko.
Ayan.
Tanungin niyo na lang, pwede niyo pa akong i-message in private.
Private message niyo po si Doc ha, pag personal, ayan. So wala po bang ayan. Mayroon pong question, Doc, from Sir Francis Araneta. I take Alta Ultima once daily. Is that okay po ba daw, Doc?
Okay lang po, but it's not enough. Okay, you have to add a little more. You have to take it 3 times a day. And then you follow the schedule. Kasi pag hindi natin tinake at the specified dose, baka hindi natin ma-optimize yung results na gusto natin. So, parang ano rin yan. Hindi siya gamot, pero like any medicine, kung kulang yung dose, hindi siya effective. Or may effect, pero not the desired effect na we want.
So, masasabi niyo po ba, Doc, na mas okay po to take the Alta Ultima 3 times a day po?
Ako.
Okay.
Ayun sa ano natin dito, yung recommendation natin, actually hindi lang 3, you take it 3 times pero 4 caps. Kasi sa umaga 2, sa tanghali 1, sa gabi 1, and you take it 3 days lang.
Okay.
Lagay ko po yan dito sa, okay, lagay ko sa chat para makita natin.
Ayan. So,
Ayan. So, 2 caps upon waking up, 1 cap 1 hour after lunch, tapos 1 at bedtime. And then you take it lang for 3 days, and then you stop on the 4th day, and then repeat. Okay, so take, off, take, off.
okay.
Yun. Para po ma-maximize yung effect.
Yung effect.
Kaya tayo pause, kaya tayo may break. Remember, may effect siya sa hormones. Hindi rin natin siya gustong i-disrupt. Okay? So, yung off is allowing our body to adjust to the intervention that we did, to the new nutrients na pinasok natin. Para siya yung mag-fix ng sarili niya, hindi tayo magiging dependent doon sa supplement.
Okay. Ayun. So, I hope, Sir Francis, nasagot ni Doc yung question mo. Sir, a question po from Miss Emma Adolfo. From what age daw po ba pwede mag-take sa Alta Ultima po?
I recommend 12 years and up. Pero, let's restrict it to adults because it might have effect on teenagers that we cannot monitor. So, so, as hindi natin nababagay. So, let's keep it na lang for adults muna. Although it's safe for 12 years and up, but they have no need for that because they're very young. Hindi naman nila issue ang sexual problems or aging. Okay, so ideally is going 21 and up.
Okay, 21 and up. Okay, though. We'll take note on that po.
If it is effective on you, it might cause problems. Nice problems, but you have to be responsible for it. Okay.
Sir, how about po? Ang Alta Ultima po ba, pwede siyang inumin kahit wala po bang laman yung tiyan? Or dapat po ba may laman yung tiyan?
Ideally po kasi, maganda siyang inumin na walang laman yung tiyan.
Oh,
Kaya nga sa umaga, we want it before breakfast. Sa lunch, we want it after lunch para medyo empty na yung stomach. Hindi naman before lunch kasi masyadong malapit sa breakfast. Kaya and then bedtime, kasi normally, hindi naman tayo natutulog agad pagkakain. So, matutulog tayo pag medyo maluwag na yung tiyan. Kaya, we recommend it sa gabi after bedtime.
Okay. So, may chat po si Sir William. Hindi po pala ako pwede. 20 years old pa lang ako.
Lahat na yung sir. Kasali na pang holidays dun, sir.
Anyway, wala na po ba tayong question kay Doc? So, he can proceed na po sa next po niya na hindi discuss. Ayan, wala. Sure na po ba tayo? Wala na po tayong questions?
Opo, pwede sila magtanong after.
Ayan, so pwede naman po kayo magtanong after. So, anyway po, okay Doc, you can proceed na po sa...
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so ano naman tayo ngayon? Mas malalim na produkto. So we'll talk about Alpha Prima. Basically kasi gusto natin maging healthy. Yun yung goal natin. Kaya may provide, kaya may nanoside, kaya nandito tayo lahat. Kasi gusto natin maging healthy lahat. Paano ba natin nag-gauge ang health? How do we measure health? So number one, of course, is the number of years you live. So, ang sinasabi natin, if you live a long life, you're healthy. If you reach 90s or 80s, you're considered healthy. So, ang problem dito is in death. When you reach death, then that's it. So, and but the measure is the number of years. Another measure is the absence of diseases, or you don't get sick. So, alam natin, if you don't get sick, you're healthy. If you're sick, you're not healthy. So, ang kalaban natin dito is diseases. And then third is the ability to do activities. You can do physical activities for work, relaxation, fun, and emergencies. Meaning, hindi ka lang advanced in years, hindi ka lang free of diseases, you're also able to do different things. Meaning, hindi ka bedridden, hindi ka buhay na, walang sakit, pero hindi ka naman na makabakot kasi mahina ka na. Okay, so ang kalaban naman natin dito is disabilities. And then the fourth measure is the sense of well-being, or you feel good. So it's not enough na you're free of diseases, you're advancing in years, you can do things, but you're not happy. So that's also a big factor, but in the sense na you live a ripe old age of 85 or 90, but you're not happy. So ang problem natin dito is the disease or the discomfort or the negative views of life. So, causes of illness natin is may natural, unnatural, or what we call the acts of God. So, for the natural, there's degeneration or wear and tear, and there's infection. Wear and tear is the normal aging process natin. Infection is the diseases that afflict us, like ngayong, COVID. Unnatural causes, or what we call force majeure, these are accidents, crimes, or riots, wars. And then the acts of God, yung natural disasters like earthquakes, typhoons, tornadoes. And one particular thing I'd like to point out here is cancer. Because cancer, unlike the other things I mentioned, is a totally different category of its own. It's a part of the generation of infection, and then there's an interplay of genetics, epigenetics, and the environment. So it's a totally different cause of illness and death.
Kaya dito palis na lang kay Ate Cynthia naman.
Sorry for that.
Okay na po. Sige po.
Ayan, sorry for that. It's okay.
Ito na kayo mo. Ito na sa causes of illness natin balikan natin. Etong part na to, yung acts of God, tsaka force majeure, that's beyond our control. Hindi natin mapipigilan ang mga bagyo, ang mga lindol. Hindi natin mapipigilan ang mga giyera or ang mga aksidente. Kaya nga aksidente sa internet. So, magpo-focus tayo dito. Ito kasi yung within our control na. So, yung degeneration or wear and tear and infection. So, sa causes of illness, ang degeneration natin is a factor of your nutritional deficiency. We talked about that kanina, yung kulang na nutrition sa katawan. And bad lifestyle. So, lack of nutrients, nutritional deficiency, and bad lifestyle can lead to your degeneration. So, how do we solve that? Well, we get nutrient-dense food, and we have treatments for the lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and cerebrovascular diseases. So kung may problem, may solution naman palagi. Now, for the infection, it's an interplay of pathogens. Pathogens are the things that cause your diseases. These are the virus like the SARS-CoV-2, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. It's an interplay with your immune system. So if you have pathogens and your immune system is poor, then obviously you'll get an infection. To counter that, we have certain antimicrobials, preferably natural, or depends on what's needed. This can be antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. And of course, if your immune system is poor, we have to boost that. So we need to understand your immune system and we have to boost them. So basically, identified natin na yung kung ano ang causes ng degeneration and infection, and we also know what to do kung paano sila i-counter. Okay? So, ang solution kasi has been given long time ago by Hippocrates, considered the father of medicine. Sabi niya, let food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. So, in everything, ang gamot natin basically is food. So, what is food? Food is any substance consumed by a person to provide nutrients for survival. So, that we use starch, meat, fish, vegetables, and fruits. And they contain nutrients that our body needs. Nutrients are substances that provide energy for activity, growth, and all functions of the body, including breathing, digestion, thermoregulation, and they are also needed for growth and repair. So anything that the body requires, that's the substances, we call them nutrients. Ito yung problem natin ngayon. The nutrients in our food diminished significantly in the last 50 years due to several factors. Number one is the reduction of minerals. So as I told you earlier, the soil is not as fertile because through the years overusage, plus they put inorganic fertilizers and pesticides, so less na yung proper nutrition niya, minerals, na dapat bigyan pa ng toxins. The second factor is the lack of time for preparing quality food and cooking properly. We're always on the go. We don't take time to prepare the nutritious food. Kasi it takes a while to make them and they're not always available. And we're always busy. Sometimes sa kotse na tayo kumakain, wala akong maglalakad, or minsan meron tayong mga working lunch or yung nagla-lunch tayo pero nagtatrabaho tayo. Actually, baliktad. Tuloy-tuloy yung trabaho, isinasabay lang natin yung lunch. And then the mixing of chemicals directly and indirectly to plants and animals. Kung makikita niyo dito, noong 1957, ang adult chicken is 905 grams lang. Ngayon, 2005, naging 4 kilos na siya. So, from 1 kilo to 4 kilos. Ganun lang ginawa. So, paano nangyari yun? Nagkaroon ng maraming hormones, antibiotics, para lumaki sila sa mas mabilis na panahon. So, yung mga meat natin, may mga chemicals, may mga feeds. Ito, this is an apple covered in wax for protection. Kasi yun yung industriya ngayon. So, kahit marami tayong food na supposedly healthy, because of the toxins that are introduced to them, nababawasan yung nutritional value nila kasi tumataas yung toxic value. Another factor is the continuous production of food. Kasi siya yung business na siya eh. So, left and right, you see mga commercial foods which are low in nutrients but high in calories. Kaya, this is the typical Western diet. Kaya if you're aware of it, in the US, obesity or being overweight is a pandemic already. Like COVID, local incident. So, it's a major problem. And because it's supposed to, they see that it's good for the economy because it's good business, napopromote siya. And because we're kanina, like you said, we don't have time to prepare good food, we resort to this. So this is our current scenario. Our global diets are rich in calories but nutritionally deficient. So a lot of us are being overweight and obese, pero we're not meeting the nutrition requirement. So akala kasi natin, yung unang panahon, when we were young, when some of us were young, ang malnourished pa yan. Okay, so hindi kumakain pa yan. Ngayon, iba na, ang malnourished yung mga natataba. Paano nangyayari? Kasi, ang dami-dami nilang kinakain na walang nutrients, pero ang taas ng caloric value. So, tumataba, pero kulang sa nutrients. So, ngayon, ang malnourished, mataba na. So, dalawa siya. Kung malnourished ka, either kulang ka sa nutrients or overweight ka. So, hindi na natin gauge ngayon yung body type mo kung malnourished or hindi. Kung payat ka, definitely malnourished ka. Ngayon, kung mataba, hindi muscular. Kung if you're fatty, then most likely you're also malnourished. So, this is an illustration of how nutritional deficiency here can cause a lot of major diseases that we know. So you have different infections here, candidiasis, H. pylori, your autoimmune diseases. Here you have your allergies, depression, headaches, insomnia. You have scurvy, anemia, rickets, metabolic syndrome, etc. All because of nutritional deficiency. So if it's the logical solution, if you create that much problem with lack of nutrients, the solution of course is to give proper nutrition. Unfortunately, nutritional deficiencies still occurs because the body doesn't get enough nutrients, either because you don't eat enough or your body does not absorb them properly. So we need to understand these principles of nutrition. One, we have stored nutrients, meaning these are nutrients that are stored in our body. So this is like your calcium in your bones, the vitamins in the liver, or they're circulating in the blood. And then we have to import some nutrients. These are nutrients that we do not manufacture and we do not store, like vitamin C. We cannot manufacture vitamin C, so we have to get them from food and supplements. If we don't take vitamin C, then wala tayong vitamin C. Unlike the other vitamins na ginagawa natin. And then the body will always prioritize survival. So the body will do everything in its power to keep itself alive. Priority in nutrition distribution will be given to the vital organs. Ano ibig sabihin nito? So, yung heart, for example, is a very important organ. It will do everything to keep itself working. Kasi pag tumigil yung heart, tigil na tayo. As a survival machine, it requires more nutrients to keep the body alive. So, what if you run out of stored nutrients and you don't get enough imported nutrients? So for scenario, vitamin A, it's needed by the heart and the eyesight. Since heart function is more vital than the eyesight, heart is prioritized. So you're alive, but you go blind. Kasi limited ng vitamin A at prioritize yung heart instead ng eyesight. Another scenario is vitamin B. Again, it's needed by your heart and your skin. Heart function again is more vital than healthy skin. So heart is prioritized. So again, you're alive, but you develop wrinkles and you age faster. So negosyong, meaning, if your nutrients are not enough, the body will try to prioritize the more important ones. So it means something will have to suffer. So in different cases, you are alive but you have diabetes. You're alive but you have heart diseases or lung diseases. You're alive but you look older than your age, or you have mental problems, or you have cancer. It cannot do much more. It cannot do much more when these nutrients are not enough to fulfill its function to keep you alive. It will do the last thing for you to keep you alive, but always sick. Okay, so meaning you always have to have enough. Our answer here, one, is spirulina. I don't know if you've heard about spirulina, but it's a wonderful. It's a superfood. It's one of the oldest microorganisms on the planet that's food. It's much older than the dinosaurs or the human beings. And it's packed with a lot of nutrients. It's a cyanobacteria. It's not an algae or fungus. So, ang equivalent niya, for 3 grams of spirulina, you can have the nutritional equivalent of 3 kilos of assorted fruits and vegetables. It has 3 times more calcium and vitamin E than whole milk, 48 times more iron than spinach, 6 times more vitamin B12 than beef liver, 500 times more beta-carotene than apples, 15 times more vitamin B1 than sardines, 3,500 times more powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity compared to vitamin C. It has 9 times more potassium than any vegetables. It has 9 times more vitamin B3 than lemons, and 45 times more vitamin B12 than strawberries. These are the other nutrients in groups of 3 grams of spirulina. So, on the first column, you have the different vitamins, B1, B2, B6, B12, folic acid, peppermint, etc. The minerals of iron, manganese, zinc. It has the amino acids, both the essential and non-essential. Essential means it's something we cannot produce, it's something we have to obtain. And then these are its anti-cancer components and other proteins, fats, fatty acids. Not all spirulina brands are equal, so there's a lot of spirulina brands out there, you can check. But then in Nanosci, we have devised a very simple method of how to test the quality. So by just using oil and water, your spirulina should be able to show these things. So if you put your spirulina, your powdered spirulina, and you put them in a glass of water, you should see this dark green. And in that same glass, depending sa angle ng lighting, you should see the red. If you don't see the red and the green together at different angles of light, then that's poor quality spirulina. Okay. This is by using oil. So if you put oil in the spirulina, the blue components, the oil-soluble components will seep out, these great phycocyanins, and the yellow carotenoids. Again, if these do not show, then you know that it's poor quality spirulina. Or you get the Nanosci brand, and then you get another, and then the other can also have colors, but you can compare the intensity. So that's how you can test the quality of spirulina. Okay. So we've mentioned kanina yung process of degeneration of your gestational deficiency. So nasolve na natin yan. So now we continue. So you're familiar with vitamin C. So there's this Hungarian biochemist, Albert Szent-Györgyi. He was credited for isolating vitamin C and discovering the components of reaction of the citric acid. So what is vitamin C? It is an important, it is an essential ingredient in the synthesis of collagen. Remember, collagen is for the skin. It's the substance that literally holds us together. It helps transport fatty acids into the cells to be used for energy. So if you're concerned about more energy in the body and losing weight, burning fats, you need vitamin C. It also inhibits bacterial invasion and growth and strengthens immune cells to fight pathogens. That's why if you're listening to doctors' recommendations, whether they are conventional doctors or integrative alternative doctors, they always mention vitamin C because vitamin C inhibits bacterial and viral infection and also strengthens your immune system. It is also a powerful antioxidant. Remember antioxidant kanina? Antioxidants neutralize unstable molecules that damage the cells. So vitamin C does that. It's also involved in the synthesis of norepinephrine. It's a neurotransmitter that's responsible for regulating our stress level. So if you're stressed, vitamin C can help you relax. And it helps create the amino acid tyrosine, which is the main component of proteins and some hormones. So practically every part of your body that has protein is dependent on tyrosine, which in turn is dependent on vitamin C. Unfortunately, almost all of the vitamin C in the market today are not vitamin C but merely synthetic ascorbic acid. Siguro very familiar tayo sa idea na ascorbic acid is vitamin C. It's not, they're different. Okay? So vitamin C is usually, ascorbic acid is usually synthesized from vegetable starch. Usually, iba-ibang starch na. Goes a chemical process and we arrive at ascorbic acid. Now, ascorbic acid is acidic. Some wise guys thought that being acidic it's bad for the body, so they processed it a little more, added sodium bicarbonate, and now you have calcium ascorbate, a non-acidic vitamin C, and then there's also calcium ascorbate, but they're not alkaline vitamin C. They're just sodium, they're just ascorbic acid salts. Okay. Okay, so to illustrate, this is a lettuce. This is not garden salad. This is a garden salad. Okay. So this is ascorbic acid. If we put on imaging the residues of ascorbic acid, this is not vitamin C. This is what vitamin C. You see the difference. In another image, okay, again, this is ascorbic acid, this is not vitamin C. This is vitamin C. Interestingly, it looks like a very popular source of vitamin C, which is oranges, the citrus. So you can see the reflection there. So basically what we're trying to point out is the chemical structure, the ascorbic acid, is really not vitamin C. This is an illustration of the vitamin C complex. Vitamin C is a complex, like B complex. It's not just ascorbic acid. This is your ascorbic acid. It's just one component of the entire vitamin C complex. You still have your tyrosinase, J factor, K factor, P factor, aspartinogen, and bioflavonoid components. So if you're just taking the ascorbic acid, normally you need the entire complex for your body to utilize ascorbic acid. Sometimes these complexes in separated forms are found in your body, but if not, if you don't have a good diet, you're not much into fruits and vegetables, you don't have this. So even if you take ascorbic acid, your body might just eliminate it through the urine. So basically you'll just be wasting money. So fruits and vegetables are the natural sources of vitamin C complex. And among the fruits which have the highest values of vitamin C, camu berries come on top, second only to kakadu. Okay? So it has natural sources of, it is a natural source of vitamin C, very high, and it is the vitamin C complex, not just the ascorbic acid. So again, we're done with the degeneration. We've talked about this, we've talked about the infection, pathogens, the immune boosters. So let's talk about cancer. As I said, it's not just degeneration and infection. There's genetics, there's environment, there's epigenetics. So cell division is normally an organized and well-controlled process. It's a common physiological function ng katawan natin. Yung skin natin nag-divide, when we grow, when we change, nag-shed yung skin. Yung linings ng digestive tract natin, every single day nagpapalit sila. So there's a lot of cell division going on. And usually, it's organized and well-controlled. And then there's what we call oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is when a normal cell is attacked by free radicals. So you have this oxidation that's going on. Again, free radicals are substances that are unstable and they create damage to the cells. Okay. Now, oxidative stress is caused by free radicals. Okay. They're unstable, they lack the molecules, so nanakawin nila kay stable molecules. This is from your cells, so now your cells will be damaged. So normally, ang cell division natin, mag-divide sila, pag na-damage, or let's say pangit, nagkaroon siya ng oxidative stress, iba na yung replication niya, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na apoptosis or cell suicide. May programming yung cells built in na if it becomes disorganized, so it will undergo apoptosis, nasisira siya by itself. Okay, so hindi na siya madami. That's the natural course of things. Kaya tayo, kahit on a daily basis, meron tayong mga circulating cancer cells in our body. Hindi tayo nagkaka-cancer kasi pag may cells na na-affect, nagsusuicide na siya. Okay. Ngayon, sa dami-dami ng sources ng free radicals, ito yung inflammation, sometimes imbalance metabolism, smoking, including secondhand smoking, radiation, air pollution, UV rays, okay, nagkakaroon ng damage sa DNA. So, kanina, kung normally, pag na-damage yung cell, nag-apoptosis or nasisira, nagsusuicide, in the presence of free radicals, hindi siya namamatay, dumadami siya. Until eventually, parami yung erratic na copies, and then eventually, you end up with cancer. Okay? Hindi na siya natigil dito sa cell suicide. Doon namin siya lahat. Okay, so what was orderly is now unregulated and disorganized cell division and proliferation. So dito papasok ang antioxidants. They donate electrons to free radicals. So again, stable molecule, free radical, kulang ng isa, kukunin ito. So si antioxidant, may sobra siya. Kaya siya antioxidant. Siya na ang mag-donate kay free radical para stable na rin si free radical. Neutralize mo siya. So pagkagaya nito sa stable molecule, pareho na silang may pair, okay, hindi na niya sisirain yung cells. So yun ang role ng antioxidant. Antioxidants are abundantly found in fruits and vegetables. Okay, so yun yung natural source niya. And among the berries, itong Aronia melanocarpa, ang known to have the highest ORAC value. Ang ORAC means oxygen radical absorbance capacity. Yun yung measure nila para malaman yung power ng isang substance kung gaano kalakas ang pagiging antioxidant niya. Hindi lang antioxidant amount, kundi yung activity. Meaning, you can have a lot of antioxidants, pero ang activity mababa or ORAC value mababa. So si Aronia, hindi siya ang pinakamataas na antioxidants, pero siya yung pinaka-active. Ang gusto natin yung active. Okay? So may kita niyo yung activity niya dito, 16,000 as compared to other berries, siya yung pinakamataas. And it's known to be effective against 6 major free radicals. Superoxide, hydroxyl radicals, peroxide, etc. So yung mga pinakamatatapang na free radicals, yun yung kahit niya niyang labatan. So ang aronia berries, marami siyang function. Yung pagiging antioxidant niya can prevent the onset of cancer. It can attack cancer cells if cancer has started. You know, may nakalusot, nagsimula na yung cancer, kaya i-attack ni aronia yon. And then kung dumating sa yung pasyente, kalat na yung cancer, pwede pa rin i-pursue ni aronia yon. So, pwede siyang preventive, pwede siyang direct attack, pwede siyang pang sweeping or pursuing the spread. So preventive therapeutic siya also in both early and late stages of cancer. So how do we prevent onset of cancer? How does aronia do that? So one, it neutralizes free radicals so they can't damage the cells. So again, free radicals damaging the cells, kinokontra ni aronia yun. So kung ito yung cell mo, yan. So ito yung mga sources ng antioxidants, stress, poor diet, air pollution, chemicals, fever rays, tobacco, iba-block lahat yan aronia. So hindi magkakaroon ng damage. Aronia can also attack cancer cells. It stimulates apoptosis of cells or cell suicide. So kanina, di ba sabi natin, pag disorganized na yung cells, nagkukomit siya ng suicide. Pero pag sobrang dami, nagtutuloy-tuloy siya. So ginagawa ni aronia, sinistimulate pa niya lalo yung apoptosis para hindi sila magsusuicide sila. And then, it inhibits the progression of cell cycle. So, may life cycle din yung cancer cells para gumana. Binablock ni aronia yun. And then, yun namang mga kumalat na, okay, sinusuppress ni aronia yung inflammatory genes. Ang ibig sabihin ng inflammatory gene, ito yung mga genes na nagpo-cause ng swelling, inflammation. Doon nagsastart din, source ng free radicals din yun. So sinusuppress ni aronia yung genes na yun para wala less yung source ng free radicals. Another way, ina-activate niya yung genes naman na nagsusuppress ng tumor. So meron tayong mga genes na pumipigil sa paglaki ng tumor, ina-activate ni aronia yun. And then it blocks the cancer's ability to deactivate tumor suppressor genes. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Meron tayong genes pang suppress ng tumor growth. Okay? Si cancer, meron siyang genes na pang-block dun sa genes natin na pampaliit ng tumor. Gets nyo? So may pangontra si cancer. Si aronia, meron siyang pangontra dun sa pangontra ni cancer. Okay, ulitin ko meron tayong genes pampalit ng tumor. Pero si cancer, meron siyang genes na pang-block ng defense natin ngayon. Si aronia naman, meron siyang pang-block kay cancer na nang-block ng defense natin. Okay, sige, usapan natin yan mamaya. And then it penetrates cancer cells, causing cellular stress. So basically, ginugulo niya si cancer cell, pumapasok siya doon, inuubos niya yung energy ni cancer. So yung energy ni cancer cell na dapat pang spread pa niya, para kumalat siya, nauubos na, namamatay siya. And then 5, it weakens the cancer's defenses and suppress their repair machinery. Si cancer cells kasi, pwede niya rin i-repair yung sarili niya. May ganung mechanism din siya. Kaso si aronia, binablock yun. So si cancer na dapat makakapag-repair ng sarili niya, hindi na rin. So pag na-attack siya ng immune system, hindi na siya makaka-recover. So basically, na-cover na natin to. So anong solution natin? So for nutrition, we have spirulina. Okay? Yan yung para sa wear and tear natin, lifestyle diseases, malnutrition. And then for our antioxidants, infection, boosting immune system, meron tayong kamukano. And then aronia berries for antioxidants. And they're all in that product called Alta Prima. So lahat ng pinag-usapan natin na solutions to the problems are all inside the product Alta Prima. Okay? So dahil dyan, hindi na natin pag-uusapan si Alta Prima. Basta alam natin, ang laman niya, yung buong pinag-usapan natin. So we recommend you 1 capsule daily or as recommended by your physician. Minsan, depende sa needs, pwede natin taasan yan. Kung mas mataas ang risk mo for cancer, let's say sa family nyo meron, pwede natin gawin yung 2 or 3. Or kung may cancer na talaga, pwede natin itaas pa yan ng 4 or 5, pwede 3 times a day in conjunction with other treatments. So, case-to-case basis. But on basis, if you're living a healthy life, you're not exposed to disease factors, you can take 1 capsule daily. Pero that's very ideal kasi lahat tayo exposed sa kung saan disease factors, especially now. Okay, so you can take it siguro like ako, may iba-ibang versions yan. But I think for Alta Prima, the recommended dose for maintenance is 2 capsules twice a day at least. Okay? Pero nawa, ang Alta Prima ay hindi gamot, hindi dapat gamitin pang gamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Thank you. Okay.
Alright. Thank you, Doc Jason, for that very informative discussion about our products, the Alta Ultima and Alta Prima. Anyway, meron po ba kayong questions kay Doc Jason? Pwede niyo po pwede po kayong mag-chat or just raise your hand po if you have your questions po, no, para ma-direct po masagutin po kay Doc Jason. I-chat niyo lang po. Ayan. Kung may tanong po kayo about
webinar natin kasi very important yung mga contents and bihira tayong makikita ng ganyang product na ganyan ng coverage.
Yes.
Breast cancer patient po ako, ano po ang dapat i-recommend? Well, kulang po tayo sa information kasi breast cancer patient, anong stage po? Gano'ng katagal na yan? May tinitake pa kayo medications? Nag-undergo na ba kayo na operation? Nag-chemo ba kayo? Radiation? Gano'n. But in general po, if you have cancer, number 1, okay, hindi ito gamot. Hindi natin pwedeng i-claim na gamot siya. Although, based dun sa contents niya at mechanism of action niya, alam natin that it can help. Hindi tayo pwedeng mag-rely sa Alta Prima lang. Marami po siyang kasabay. Pero malaki ang magagawa niyang improvement kung meron na tayong ALTAIMUNE. Kung yun yung gagawin natin. Major part ng treatment natin. I can recommend po as much as maybe 2 capsules 3 times a day because I haven't seen you. Okay? So in general, I don't know your nutritional status, I don't know kung ano yung kaya nyo i-take, but 2 capsules 3 times a day would be safe. Ang pwede rin po gawin natin dyan, minsan kasi hiyak-hiyak din. So you can start with 1 capsule 3 times a day. If you think maganda yung effect, then maybe you can raise it to 2 capsules 3 times a day. Ganun. Pag mukhang parang yung ibang set absent sa stomach or parang sobrang hyper nyo naman, ayaw nila ng gano'n. Kasi nga, more energy. So, titimplahin din po natin sa usage. And then very important ito yung monitoring. So, let's say every month or every 2 months, you check, lumiliit pa siya, lumalaki pa siya, yung blood tests nyo ba nag-improve. Kasi factor din yun kung paano natin i-adjust yung intake. Yun po.
Sir, meron po siyang pahabol. Doc Jason, meron po siyang pahabol.
Ayun po yan.
Ayan,
And these products suitable for pregnant women. Okay, ganito po. Lahat po ng supplements kasi, or even drugs, wala tayong product testing for breastfeeding and pregnant women. Kasi hindi magandang gagamitin sila for clinical trials. Okay? Theoretically po, it is not recommended. Not because it is not safe, but because we don't have information if it is safe. But common sense will tell us that if this is just a combination of 3 kinds of food, at di para lang kayo kumakain ng salad, pwede na rin po. But if you're treating a particular illness and you're under the management of a physician, kailangan po inform nyo yung doktor ninyo pag mag-take kayo ito para ma-adjust niya rin kung ano yung management ng ginagawa. Wala pa po tayo. Meron kasi mga even without a recommendation, breastfeeding, pero nag-take, wala pa naman po naging problem na rin sa akin. Kasi nga, kahit mapunta yan sa milk, it's just food for the baby na nag-breastfeed. So, wala naman po so far na alam natin na ganun. Although, open-ended po tayo din. And if we go technical about it po, ang nakalagay po yan sa special precautions. Hindi naman bawal, pero parang ang legal term parang at your own risk po. Yeah.
Doc, from...
Lung cancer stage 4, confirmed positive po sa COVID. Ano po magandang gamitin po na products natin? Okay, medyo mahabang discussion po yan. Kasi napakarami pong product na we provide.
Yes.
And ang topic po natin ngayon ay si ALTAIMUNE, si ALTAIMUNE, di ba? Ganito na lang po. Hindi ko po masasabi sa inyo lahat kung ano yung pwede niyong gamitin, but definitely si ALTAIMUNE can help a lot. Kasi remember kanina sinabi natin, because of ammonia, may several mechanisms siya to fight cancer cells. So it can be a good addition to whatever treatment you're using now. But again, this is stage 4, and the thing with natural products, si Mother Nature kasi works very slowly. And usually si Mother Nature preventive siya. Hindi siya mga pang-emergency o biglaan. Okay? So at stage 4, hindi po natin, wala kasi akong idea health status nyo now. Kailan po natin alamin dyan gaano kabilis yung pagdami or pagbawas ng cancer cells nyo as compared sa nagiging epekto sa inyong ALTAIMUNE. Kasi pwedeng makatulong si ALTAIMUNE, pero kung mas mabilis pa rin ang pag-grow ng cancer, talo tayo doon. So marami po tayong iba-ibang factors na kailangan i-consider. Pero definitely po, makakatulong ang ALTAIMUNE. At the very least, yung nutritional side because of this spirulina. And second, yung fighting, cell cancer fighting abilities po ng component siya na kamo-kamo and aronia. So, big factors po yun. Pwede po ba stage 4 bone cancer? Yung question po kasi na pwede po ba? Pwede naman po lahat. Siguro po ang gusto nyo malaman is, makakagaling ba ito sa stage 4 ng cancer? Nakasalalay ko kasi ang lisensya ko dito at ang pwede ko lang isagot sa inyo dyan ay ganito, generic na sagot. Alta-prima ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin sa karamdaman. Yun po ang ating reverse na sagot. Pero pwede niyo po ba? Hindi pwede naman po. Makakagaling ba ito sa po na cancer nyo? Hindi ko po pwede i-claim yan. Yes. Po. Pero kung nakinig po kayo sa lecture, sinabi ko naman po doon ang mga ginagawa aronia na isang major component at alta-prima. So, makakalusot po ako sa lecture kasi lecture yon. Pero pag Q&A na po, hindi po tayo pwedeng gumawa ng claims. Okay? Nagigets niyo ba ako? Hindi ko pwede sabihin direkta ito. Okay? So, si Ma'am Kay, papaliwanag sa inyo yan sa mga susunod. Yun lang po yung point natin dyan. Okay, when is the best time to take it? Before or after meals? In general po, as a rule, supplements should be taken before meals. Or, kung gusto nyo after meals, 1 or 2 hours after. Ang idea po niyan, sana wala siyang kasabay pag inuwi. Okay? Kaya po before meals, kasi wala ko nag-ulit dyan. Kung after meals naman, at least 1 to 2 hours, yun yung period na medyo bakante na ulit siya. Pero, kung busy po kayo, ang pinaka-practical na sagot is kung kailan po convenient sa inyo. Kesa naman malimutan nyo pa. So, kung kailan nyo maalala, kahit before or after meals yan, sa kanyo lang naalala, di go for it na, kesa ma-miss nyo yung dose. Okay. Exposed po ako sa positive COVID, waiting na po ako sa RT-PCR ko today. How many percent po na positive po ako? Ay, hindi ko po alam. Usually. Kasi hindi po natin alam. Yung positive pa, gano'n pag-relate yung dala niyang virus, anong strain ito, kumusta ang immune system niyo, gano'n katagal ang exposure niyo, naka-mask pa kayo, naka-shield siya, anong ventilation room, mga ganun po. Wala po tayong ibang magagawa ngayon kung ikutin tayo, go for the best. Okay. Pero kung ako sa inyo, unahan nyo na ng alta-prima para at least kung meron man yan, simulan nyo na yung laban sa virus. Tapos magpatak na kayo ng alta-immune. Gawin nyo lang every 4 hours para kung yung exposure nyo hindi pa lumalalim, hindi pa nakakababa yung virus, nandiyan pa sa throat area, atakihin nyo na dyan bago pa lumubog. Yun po. Not related to your presentation. Ay, bakit po? Kung not related lang, what is it given? Ayun natin. Essential oils. Or, okay. Due to the data privacy law and the doctor-patient confidentiality, hindi ko po pwedeng i-entertain ang ganitong consultation in public. Okay? Kung gusto niyo po, pwede po natin pag-usapan yan. Private, pwede po kay Miss Kay yung Facebook account ko para mag-discuss natin. Pero in public po, dapat po yan sa batas. Manganganib po ang aking lisensya. Is this supplement good for a person having stomach problems and also for those who need ano po stomach problem, hyperacidity, ba? Kung hyperacidity, wala naman po problema. You can take it in pills para hindi siya mag-cause ng acid. Kung indigestion po, usually hyperacidity lang. Pwede naman po, wheat allergy, wala pong problema, wala pong wheat component, alta-prima at alta-buti.
Excuse me, Doc. This is Josephine Gupta, Dr. Gupta from Philippines. And the one who had asked the questions is my friend from India, Jitan Sharma. Yeah. So she can understand the Tagalog explanation po. Jitan, still there?
Wait.
Jitan,
Yeah. So Miss
Okay.
Gitanjali's doc, she is from
Okay.
India.
Okay.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Yes, he's from India right now.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what stomach problem specifically you're referring to, but I'm assuming it's about acid. So if it's about acid or hyperacidity, no problem, okay? But just to be safe, it would be better if you take this supplement with meals instead of before meals or after meals. Usually, whenever there's food product in your stomach, acid is produced. Okay? So even if you take supplements to digest that, acid will also be produced. Now the volume of the tablet is very little. So there might be more acid than the actual food, so it can cause a problem. But if you take it with food, the supplement and the food, they have enough volume to neutralize the acid. So that
Saya.
Doc, naka-mute po kayo.
Okay.
Hello, Doc?
Yeah, coming po. Am I mute? Muted po ba ako? Sorry po. No, I'm not muted po.
sorry.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
a little disturbance domestically here. So.
Yeah, thank you, Doc, for the explanation po.
Okay, so the simple answer is you can take it, but take it with meals and lots of water. Okay.
Thank you po. Tita Angeline, that was a very good answer by Dr. Niranda po.
Yes.
Are these products not suitable for gluten-free? Okay. I'm assuming what you mean is this gluten-free? Can it be taken by people who are avoiding gluten? Yes. Okay, these are gluten-free products.
Yan. So, meron pa po ba tayong questions kay Doc? Jason, you can raise your hand po or just chat po para po mabasa si Doc. Any other questions po?
Ma'am?
Ayan. Hello po?
Can we ask question, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Essential oil, ma'am, not the one that the doctor just discussed. But about essential oils, is it okay to ask this question this time?
If we have time, depende po sa question natin. Complicate kasi. What's your question, sir?
Okay, I asked my friend, sir, doctor, to ask.
Sir, I think I have already checked it and Doc already said that it will be banned from food. So that's noted. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You have already attended my question, Doc. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you po. Any other questions po for Doc Jason? Ayan. So, meron pa po ba tayong questions? Sulitin na po natin dito si Doc Jason. Meron pa po ba kayong questions?
Friday.
Yes. Tanong lang po ng tanong. Yes. Miss Gitanjali is raising her hand. Yes, ma'am.
I have a very basic question to ask. Actually, we are really confused when is the right time to have fruits. It is in the morning, empty stomach, or before lunch.
Fruits?
Yeah, fruits. Just fruits. I'm asking of fruits only. Is the right? What is the right time to have fruits? In the morning, empty stomach is the right way to have fruits, or it should be before lunch?
Okay, it's a little off topic, but let me give you a brief answer on that. If you consider Western medicine, it really doesn't matter because it's food. But if you look at Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine, they would have things about when's the best time to eat and when it's not. Again, for practical purposes, I usually advised you take it when you can take it, because eventually it will be digested by your system. Now, if it's there's a say, some people believe that you take it before meal so it can be digested first, and you have the enzymes for digestion. Actually, that's not true, because it will take about 1 or 2 hours before that food gets digested and exit your stomach. So if you eat fruits now, and then after 5 minutes you eat your regular food, they'll all just meet inside your stomach at the same time. So there's really no much value unless you give it maybe 2 hours difference. So for practical reasons, take it whenever you want. You can use it, take it before or after. But I'm not familiar with studies on the actual negative impacts if you take it outside the principles of it should be during midday or in the morning or at bedtime. So that's not really my line, but from what I know, that's my answer.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks for your answer.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any follow-up questions po para kay Doc Jason? May pahabang questions pa po ba?
Hello ma'am, meron akong tanong.
Yes, sir. Go ahead po.
Tungkol sa Alta Ultima, kung meron kang kidney stone, hindi ba yun hindi ba makasama yun?
Wala po siyang connection.
Wala siyang connection, Doc.
Wala.
Okay lang mag-take, kaya meron kang kidney stone.
Okay lang po. Pero of course, kung meron kayong stone, bigyan nyo rin ng pansin. Kasi hindi naman po yan mawawala kung hindi natin aasikasin. So, baka maging problem in the future.
Kasi, ang cause kasi ng kidney stone ko, Doc, yung pag-iinom ko ng mga supplements. Sabi ng doktor. Baka...
Tagal po natin nalaman na galing sa supplements.
Sabi ng doktor ko, Doc, nung nagpa-iron ako sa amin.
Lagi po kasi nilang pinagbibintangan ng supplements. Pero mas malaki po ang volume ng mga processed food na kinakain natin kaysa sa supplements. So parang unfair naman po na yung maliliit na volume na tinitake natin na extracted, na yung nutrients na nakukuha, siya pa yung magiging cost ng stores.
Okay, Doc, salamat. Thank you.
Okay po.
Doc?
Can I give these products age 3 to 11? Aling product po? Yung Alta-Ultima po kasi hindi nila kailangan yon. Yung Alta Prima, siguro po, 7 years old and up, huwag naman yung 3. Kung 7 years old, siguro once lang every day is more than enough. Tsaka capsule po to, baka hindi naman kaya gawin ng bata.
So, yung Alta Ultima po, no, Doc, ito po, mas recommend nyo po na 21 years old and up ang mag-take po nito. Tama?
Ideally po, adult.
Ideally. Yes. Ayan.
Yung Alta Prima, ang main problem po natin kasi dyan, yung dose niya malaki. Yung capsule malaki, maraming laman.
Okay.
So una, mahirap inumin ng maliliit na bata. Padalawa, baka naman po sumobra. Ay, hindi po siya decide na pambata. Although, kung gusto nyo, merong, baka we provide it also come up with mga kiddie versions itong mga to. Separately, like maybe chewable na vitamin C, for example, like or maliit na tiny spirulina tablets. Meron yan na 250 milligrams na. So, that can be an option also. Pero yung capsule natin na Alta Prima, baka hindi po suitable. Yeah.
Ayan. So, any follow-up questions pa po? Meron pa po kayong gustong itanong kay Doc Jason? Ayan. So, sure na po ba tayo? Wala na po tayong questions kay Doc. Mas maganda po na before natin i-end yung live natin or yung Zoom meetings po natin, syempre na ito, is maganda na sagot po lahat ng questions po ninyo. Tama po? Ayan. Ayan. So, I think, Doc Jason, wala na po silang questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doc Jason Tanirada, for very informative sharing po. for the products of We Provide, Alta Ultima and Alta Prima. Thank you very much, Doc. Marami po kami natutunan. And yun nga po, again, sa lahat po, we do this every Friday. The WITA po, or we talk about the products po We Provide. So, if you want to be knowledgeable about the products of We Provide, you can join us po here at Zoom, or kung gusto nyo po manood sa aming Facebook Live, sa aming page po na We Provide PH sa Facebook, pwede po kayo dumanood. And kung hindi nyo naman po naabutan, pwede nyo naman po yun i-repeat after live. So, yun po, mag-invite lang po tayo ng mag-invite po, no? Marami po tayong natututunan. Again, thank you so much po sa lahat. Nandiyan pa po ba kayo? Rise and shine! Ayan, nandiyan pa sila. Anyway, thank you po so much again sa lahat po na nakasama natin this afternoon. Maraming salamat po. Of course, gusto ko lang din pong batiin, and I just wanted to say hello to Miss Gitanjali Sharma from India. Welcome po sa We Provide. Welcome, ma'am. She is a friend of and invite of Miss Josephine Gupta. Ayan. Hello po sa inyo. Welcome po sa We Provide. Hello din po kay Sir Zorder Laksamana, brother of Chris Laksamana. Hello po. Good afternoon po sa inyo.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, sir. Hello po. Yan. Sobrang dami natin natutunan kay Doc Jason. Tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Ayan. So we are very thankful po no, that we have this kind of Zoom na kung saan marami po tayong natututunan, and yet I hope to see you po next sessions natin every every Friday po about the products, and we have different kind of topics po every day. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have different kinds of topics po. Lahat po yan dito sa We Provide. I hope mag-invite pa po tayo ng mas nakakarami po to start a business po immediately na napapanahon po sa atin ngayon. Again, thank you so much po sa lahat na nakasama po natin ngayon. Maraming salamat po. Ayan. Hi, Ma'am Josephine Gupta. Hello po. Good afternoon. From Malu. Hello. Yeah. From Miss Malu Solares. Thank you daw po, Doc Jason. Thank you. Yes. Rise and shine po, Miss Malu. Hello po. Ayan. So, I hope to see you next sessions po natin. Thank you so much again po. Yes, ma'am. Yes po.
Could we request for this recorded video to share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
That will be
great.
fine, ma'am. No problem. Thank you so much po sa lahat. Again, thank you din po sa ating mga FB Live viewers na nanood po sa atin ngayon. Maraming salamat po, and rest and shine po sa lahat.
In these fields, over hills, in the middle